The Phase 2 Clone Trooper Army finds themselves in a secluded island temple. They have no idea how they got to this island or why there's a temple here, but they just know they're there now. It doesn't seem very threatening until every other fantasy army arrives at the same island. Now they all coexist peacefully until one clone trooper made a "Yo Mama Fat" joke. And that didn't really bother the other fantasy army troopers. Until another clone trooper doubled down and called a "Yo Mama Stupid" joke. And now, this once peaceful island temple area that all of these fantasy armies were teleported to will now be war-torn, with thousands dying. What's going on, boys? It's me, Daily Tactics here, and I am back today with some more Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator. We have the Clone Trooper Army here versus every fantasy/sci-fi army. We've got the Halo 3 ODST right here. We have the Space Marines from Warhammer 40k sprinkled throughout the map. This is a very dense jungle. It's going to be hard to find everyone. Over here, we have the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. military. Then we have, let's see, this is the Lord of the Rings Elven Archers. Beautiful. Then up here, we've got ourselves Game of Thrones White Walkers, which is pretty cool. And then there are Combine soldiers somewhere. That's more Space Marines. Oh, are these are the Combine soldiers from Half-Life. Very epic. And then finally, last but certainly not least, there are, here we are, Pikachu from Pokemon. Yes. It should be really cool to see this battle. All fantasy armies versus the Clone Trooper Army. Clone Trooper Army is scattered throughout the island here. They have 19,400 troopers, and the other fantasy armies have 16,000 troopers. And it's roughly the same amount of health between the two different armies that we've got going here. So it should be a pretty even fight. And without further ado, guys, let's get right on into it here. I'm actually going to turn it back so it's daytime. Alrighty then, boys, pressing start right now, and here comes the Clone Trooper Army fighting against every other fantasy army available in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator, plus some sci-fi armies, as well as, well, Pokemon. Is Pokemon fantasy, or is that sci-fi, or kids game? What does Pokemon count as? And I don't mean kids game as an insult, because I still regularly play the new Pokemon games that come out, and I do collect the vintage cards, so yeah. I do love me some Pokemon. I don't mean any insults by that. Either way, tons of fighting going on at this little bridge crossing. I think something that would be really, really cool is if we did a like massive Clone Wars bridge battle in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator, where it's like 100,000 clones versus 100,000 droids or something like that, just on bridges. It could be kind of neat. They don't even seem to care about the bridges very much. I mean, look at all of these Space Marines down in the water down here, getting down and dirty. Riding dirty. And the Clone Troopers firing downwards at them, as well as a few clones going down to the shore to try and take them out, but that's bloodying the water a little bit right there. It's not working too good. But on the bridge itself, the clones are actually making progress. They're pushing across against the Lord of the Rings troopers. Sadly, the Lord of the Rings troopers, the Elven Archers in particular, are one of the more weak units for the fantasy armies here. However, the White Walkers and Space Marines are some of the more powerful units. The White Walkers are very powerful. However, they, of course, are melee only, so they got to get nice and close in there to start thwacking some Clone Troopers, while the Clone Troopers, of course, have lasers that they can fire at these White Walkers from a distance. Space Marines, on the other hand, are bulky tank units that are extremely powerful, so these guys can pack a mean punch with little to no consequences because they will be at range. Let's see what's going on the left side of the battlefield. Looks like we have Halo 3 ODSTs as well as Space Marines over here, clocking some Clone Troopers, and Clone Troopers clocking them as well. We got bodies hitting the floor for both sides in major quantities here. I really don't know who will end up winning this battle overall. I mean, to be honest, The fantasy armies have basically every unit type under the sun. They got melee, they got heavy units, they've got light units with high firepower. They've got it all going on for them, so they could very easily make this thing happen and win it. But the clone troopers, they're just a solid unit. These are a well-balanced unit, to be honest, so they could win too. I think this is up in the air right now. Here come the Pikachu. They're running on forward. They're not really getting too involved right now. It seems like they're sort of clustered back here. A few spray shots hitting them by accident, I think, from the clone troopers. Let's check in on the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. over here. So they sort of spawned in on this little island sort of thing over here. An island of an island, baby! And now they're doing a mini bridge assault. I mean, there's just a few clone troopers over here. Not really too much. Oh, there's actually more on the bridge itself, and they seem to be going tit for tat. Both sides taking losses. Not a major battle right there in the slightest. Where are the rest of the clone troopers on this side of the battle? Where are the boys at? They seem to all have sort of migrated towards the Lord of the Rings bridge over here, which we can check back in on. It seems like the White Walkers have sort of taken control of the bridge and are now beginning to crush into the clone trooper lines on the opposite side, getting some good melee kills in here. This is not too shabby in the slightest. The clone troopers having to do a hard defense here, and they are taking some thwacks. This is looking like a bit of trouble for the clone troopers. They do make it back onto the bridge by just a little bit, but more and more White Walkers pressuring them and attacking. However, the bodies are starting to pile up for the White Walkers, and I don't think there are too many of them left. So they're going to need to make some bigger strides here if they want to push further inland. Additionally, we got some modern Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. soldiers up in here helping out, doing some covering fire for those White Walkers. We've also got a few Space Marines in here. There are still more Lord of the Rings soldiers just sort of scattered throughout. And in the water, this is like where the Space Marines are collecting. It's super weird. Why are they so aquatic? All right, let's check in on the Combine soldiers. Where did those boys go off to? Oh, there's a few dead patches of them in here where clearly some clone troopers died as well. And here we go. We got a platoon of them over this way, making their way through the rocky terrain here, skirmishing with just a few clone troopers. This doesn't seem to be a major area where the clone troopers are very present, but you know, there is a bit of skirmishing going on here and there. Back on the far left side, it is just an absolute slaughterhouse for both sides of the battlefield. Seems like mainly Space Marines alive for the fantasy armies over here. Meanwhile, the clone troopers are taking residence behind the temples and whatnot. Probably a pretty good idea. Probably pretty decent cover. It's a massive building here, so it's not too shabby-labby, and you know, they can just sort of peep around these areas and you know, avoid taking too much damage. Also, just scatterings of clone troopers all throughout the island. I mean, all the way back here, we've got random clones going in random directions, really. Wow, actually, a very large mass up on this bridge up here. It looks like these guys might be trying to get the high ground here to fire down, but they can't really quite get that. Oh my god. What the heck? It's like an ant colony of clone troopers over here in this little canyon. What are you guys doing? That's super weird. They must be stuck there or something. All right, the bridge battle over this way. Still more White Walkers are coming, baby. And it looks like the bodies are really piling up on this bridge. Look at that. Look at the bodies, man. And just so many shots getting fired. This is truly, truly incredible. It seems like they lost most of the troopers that were covering fire for them. There are still a few Lord of the Rings troopers coming in to help out, but yeah, this is really just the White Walkers battle now, and they keep on getting reinforcements. Oh, there's just a bunch up here. I guess these are the reserves, and there must have been a lot more earlier, but they've slowly been depleted as the reserves get called into action. But these guys, it seems like they have killed quite a number of clone troopers, and so have the Lord of the Rings guys, so I have to say I'm pretty proud of the fantasy armies over here. But the clone troopers, man, they just keep getting reinforcements. This is definitely the massive holdout that the clone troopers want to have. But the modern soldiers, I think, might end up flanking them pretty soon here. They're gathering over here in large numbers and beginning to move out further inland. They're doing a bit of a trickle in right now, which is not exactly the best strategy. I would just yeet everyone all at once if possible, but it will be a nice little cheeky flank if they can get more soldiers up here. There's a little bit of fire from one modern agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. over here. He's firing away. He's getting actually a few clone trooper kills. Not bad at at all, buddy. Nice job. Oh, one of his comrades died right there, clearly. But yeah, this guy's on a nice little flank. Barely any of the clone troopers seem to notice him. He does get taken out, but not before he gets a couple of kills. That's not bad, and if, you know, more and more of those Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. troopers end up scattering in there and getting more and more kills, it's not terrible. All right, the Combine soldiers took some heavy losses over here on this cliffside, as well as it looks like a few Halo ODST troopers, but they did wipe out a serious number of clones. This was a massacre of a battle over here. Ooh, holy cow, and it looks like the Combine soldiers did sort of come out of it mostly victorious. There's still a scattering of clones. It looks like reinforcements are actually coming from the main island over there into the Combine soldier area. But the Combine soldiers seem to have done a nice job of clearing it out. They've got a nice pocket of resistance right there that can continue to get kills, and they're trickling in some more units further inland to kill some more clone troopers this way. So things are looking okay over here for those fellers. Over here, I mean, it has been a massacre over here for both sides, and just now the Pikachu units are really starting to get involved. Looks like there was a bit of a Pikachu slaughter over here, but the clones didn't manage to hold them back, and now the Pikachu are blitzkrieging the clone troopers. Looks like they wiped out all of them behind this temple, and luckily the Pikachu actually saved a few of the Halo units, as well as maybe a couple of the Warhammer 40k units? Maybe not, I don't know, but the Pikachu now are spreading like a cancer across this island right now, zapping clone troopers to death. They are a tough target to hit. They really do move very, very fast, and they are a very small unit. The only thing that the clones have going for them against these guys is that the Pikachu range is trash. Absolute garbage. So they have to get really, really close to the clone troopers in order to actually KO them. So that's a bit of a toughie right there for the Pikachu, but the clone troopers are still doing their best to kill some Pikachu, kill some little rats, these murder rats, these bloody murder rats. Ah! Yeah, they're getting KO'd a little bit, but the clones seem to be suffering the worst of the KO. Yeah, even when you zoom out, you can barely see the Pikachu. They're just so small. You really can't see them very well, huh? Alright, so, I mean, in all honesty, this battle, it's very tough to tell who is winning and who is losing. In various spots, there are different victors and different losers, and it's gonna come down to the very end, I think, before we have an actual winner. Here we have on this bridge battle where thousands, literally thousands of soldiers from both sides have lost their lives. The clones are finally victorious. And now they're beginning to fire down into the rivers below. However, as they try and fire down and as they try and descend, rather, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. soldiers as well as the Warhammer 40k Space Marines are firing down at them as well. There's also like a clone grouping on the other side of the bridge, but I think this is a glitch. I don't think they can shoot through this. This is technically like a hidden wall or something along those lines. So a bit of a bummer right there for the clone troopers. They almost had a little bit of an excursion, but didn't quite manage to do it. Here we've got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Being supported by a Space Marine over here and some White Walkers proceeding forward, trying to maybe take back that bridge entrance. Maybe they'll get a few clone trooper kills here and there, but I don't think they've got the troopers here to actually take back this bridge entrance. I think these guys might make some progress, but then get killed off and lose this sort of excursion that we got going on. Oh, there's actually a few more Space Marines down there too. Space Marines, I swear, they are all over the place on this map. They do not stop coming. They are all over the place. And the clone troopers having to actually take the sort of high ground here. And normally I'm all about the high ground, but when you're up on a perch like this in the middle of a bridge, I feel like you're just a sitting duck. You're a target for another gun unit. So it's a little risky, but they're managing to do it and cross over. It's just the sheer amount of bodies that is actually creating the high ground. It's absolutely insane. Clone troopers are not coming out of this unscathed, though, as they are taking some pretty extreme losses on the other side of this bridge over here. Definitely a toughie right there. All right. All of the modern dudes over here seem to have proceeded forward, it seems. Oh, yeah, look, they're over here now. Okay, so they're actually fully flanking, doing a bit of a pincer movement, actually, with the other guys on the other side of the bridge, and they're just sort of collapsing in on the clones in the middle. So that's not too shabby. That's not too shabby at all, and, you know, they are taking losses, but I think they're managing to distract the clones a good bit and get some kills over there, so I like it. Alright, I do want to go check back in on the middle ground over here. We spent some time at the bridge. Looks like actually the Combine soldiers over here mostly got wiped out. And I'm actually a little surprised by that because I think they are very, very powerful units. Oh my god. Oh my god. The Pikachu are nesting in the water. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, that's terrifying for the clones. They all got trapped in the water, and there's even clones actually trapped in the water as well. Wow. This is crazy. Are we going to start seeing just underwater battles in general during this whole thing? That's where like half of the units for both sides are, is underwater. Wow. This is weird, dude. Are they going to all get stuck there and not be able to get out? I don't know if they can get out. Like, they can fall in, but are there actual entrances to the beach? Oh, look, over here. Oh, look, Clone Troopers actually entering into the water here. For the first time, I think. There's no dead bodies here, so this must be one of the first times they're sort of entering in over this way. And they're working on clearing out the last of the troopers that were over here. Although it seems like most of them were probably shot down from up above anyway. So, wow, that's kind of crazy right there. What are we looking at in terms of numbers? Okay, so the Clone Troopers have 2,900 soldiers left. Meanwhile, the Fantasy Armies have 2,045 soldiers left. The Fantasy Armies have killed 15,800 troopers, while the Clone Troopers have killed 13,800 troopers. So the Fantasy Army technically doing a little bit better than the clones are right now. Seems like the Fantasy Armies, though, are heavily relying on Pikachu at this point, and they are all trapped underwater. So that'll be interesting to see how they end up doing. I think the Fantasy Armies expended most of their good units here, aka the Space Marines, ODSTs, Combine Soldiers. Meanwhile, the Clone Troopers, of course, just always have that sort of flat goodness to them. I mean, Pikachu are definitely a decent unit, but if they're all trapped underwater, that might not end up being too hot. There doesn't seem to be too many major areas of conflict. There seems to be maybe one up here. What's going on up here, boys? What is this? Who are you shooting at? Who you do be shooting at? I don't even see who they're shooting at. Is it way up here they're shooting? Oh! There's just a couple of White Walkers. I think they're stuck on this little plateau and can't get down, so now the clones are just shooting them from a distance. All those poor guys, those poor fellers. They're gonna get got right there. Yeah, so this is a very peculiar end to the battle. You know, usually with these sort of UEBS battles, Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator, we get like a decisive victory, but in this case, we've got a very bizarre thing going on right now where it's sort of like these river units fighting each other. Very strange. This map is not really conducive to a great ground battle. I didn't realize this, but like the rivers really, the troopers are susceptible to falling into them big time. Maybe the developers should make it so if the units do touch the water in the river, maybe they either teleport or heck, they even die. I don't know. But it is kind of weird how this is now happening. Oh, look, there's even Combine soldiers over here in the river. Wow, I thought these guys had gone extinct years ago, but no. There are more. I wonder if there's any more Warhammer 40k units. I have a pretty good feeling there's no more elves. And I have a pretty good feeling that those last two White Walkers were it for the White Walkers. And modern soldiers, maybe there's a few, but I kind of doubt it. But, you know, those Warhammer troopers, I could see there being more of them. And I could also see there being more Combine soldiers. Well, actually, we did see more Combine soldiers, so there's that. Huh. Well, there's still 1,500 fantasy units and 2,700 clone troopers here. Very interesting. Huh. Wow. Well, you know what? Why don't, since there's no real action going on right now, why don't I let this run? And I'll be back once it has sort of, you know, narrowed down a little bit, since there's not major action we can sort of see here beyond this one Pikachu going in. And he's dead. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, guys. Well, this is a first for Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator, but, I mean, no one's really dying. One clone trooper every, like, 5 seconds is dying, and then one Pikachu every 10. It's very bizarre, and you can't even see any action. So I'm going to call this a draw. There are 2,000 clones remaining and 680 Pikachu remaining. However, I would like you guys to tell me in the comments section who you think won this battle. The clone troopers or every other fantasy army. I'm going to nuke the field. Did that do anything? Did like nothing. Where are the clones? I think they're all in the rivers. It's super weird, dude. This is such a bizarre map. This is like a crazy weird map, dude. But yeah, I mean, like, it was a fun battle. I enjoyed it. I just kind of wish the map wasn't so broken, and so we could have gotten, you know, a real victor. But it seems like everyone sort of got stuck in various positions. I don't even know where the last 350 troopers are, dude. They're hidden. They're gone forever. So either way, guys, let me know who you think won in the comments section below. My official tally will be it's a draw, but I'd love to know what your personal opinions are. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly do hope you did enjoy. Comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and smash that like button. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.